Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield and Legends of Kalidasia, and Merry Christmas, everybody! Even though we're recording this in September, but
Merry Christmas, and I come bearing gifts. So this is just a surprise for Jason. This is going to be just in front of the show. This is a gift for Jason that took some of the year to make. And so this is for him, and this is totally not scripted. Well, it's pre-thought by me. Jason just didn't realize that this was going to happen on him, right away.
It's like I said, it's September here. It wasn't thinking Christmas time just quite yet, so yeah.
It's okay. We still got presents. So Jason's going to open this Christmas present.
Okay.
And, yes.
All right, I'll take
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
This is a reaction video at the same time.
Oh no, what is this? Ooh, this is a little dice tray I was playing around with, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's your own high ground tiles dice tray. So it's a waterfall type dice tray.
That is cool.
And it needs to be glued again, but
Okay. Well, thank you. That's really pretty nifty.
You're welcome. I thought you would appreciate that.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about high ground tiles this episode around.
No.
No, not at all. Not all that over there. But yeah. So anyway, how do we start?
I'm sorry, I burped. Now it's like you're gonna hear the boom in the microphone.
So how do we start this year's show off? This is recorded in 2020. If somehow you stumble across this, but you know what? I got no problem saying Merry Christmas in 2020 or Merry Christmas in September 2020.
Did you say Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas?
I tried to say Merry Christmas. I don't know what I said. But because 2020 can go to hell. And the worst freaking year.
This is not a kid's show.
Oh, no.
This time around. This time around, this is not a kid's show, folks. Take your kids out of the room.
YouTube now has a little box. Is this for kids? Yes or no? Heck no. Sometimes I swear in these videos that I do. Sometimes. But yeah, anyway, let me go. Very inappropriate drink of water. But yeah, so this is the kind of funny thing, just thinking back about these Christmas lights back here that we normally have behind us. There are these little two-tone things that I got.
Do we normally have Christmas lights behind us?
Sometimes we do, if I remember. When I do shows around Christmas time, my set I always have Christmas lights.
Okay.
But I was realizing these I got in my college dorm nearly 18 years ago. It's like, it's one of those things you start thinking about just how old you really are. Like this futon we're sitting on is actually about a little over 20 years old.
Let's not think about that, please. I was just thinking about how old this futon actually was a few minutes ago, too. And then I'm like, I do not want to think about it. Because,
yeah, anyway.
I have autoimmune disease, and there's probably like a million diseases in this. I probably should be wearing a mask.
Probably. It's 2020 after all. Go get some... Oh crap! I
won't be able to breathe.
There's one in my car. Got my couple of woodworking ones down in the basement. Nothing. I got my little ghost. I'll get out to freak people out. Now Anyway, so enough with this silly crap here. Why don't we talk about what we've been up to this year? Ryan, you can go first because you've probably got a lot more exciting things to talk about than me, who's just been in their house for months and months and months.
Oh, well, I mean, being in the house for months and months and months, that's my daily routine anyway. So when everybody was told to be in their houses, I'm just like, so what's new? What I'm doing anyway. This is how I live my life.
Did you actually have a formal lockdown down in Kentucky or not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. People are still wearing masks and stuff in September. I don't know what's going to be like in December. But and I go as we all know, I have an illness and I'm going to the hospital every so often to get infusions done, get medications IV'd in me, and so they ask me questions and they test me out, and it's like, do you feel these symptoms? Let me take your temperature. It's like, no, I don't. Okay. Where's your mask? I don't have one. Here's one. Thank you. Do I get a free mask? I don't pay for them. Okay, I'm done ranting. Otherwise, people are really going to just switch this off. Because no, I'm not saying this isn't something that's not real. It is real. Precautions should be taken, and I'm thankful for the precautions that have been taken. People have done a wonderful job, especially within the medical industry. But there is such a thing as overreacting, and there has been a lot of frickin' overreacting, and it is darn insane. Okay, moving on. Season 2 is out completely.
That came out this year, didn't it?
It came out this year. We finished it this year. So, Tales of Valhalla, in case anybody doesn't know, who's been under a rock, which is possible. Tales of Valhalla is a stop-motion Heroscape adventure based off the board game Heroscape. The primary characters are the Airborne Elite, and it's just a fun stop-motion animated series. And we have 10 episode seasons, and we got season 1, season 2 released out there on the interwebs. And so if you're all binge watching Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and you want to binge watch like an actual tabletop game, if you're into tabletop gaming, go watch it. It's open, ready to binge watch, and it's for free.
Get some pages and notes on your phone, what you're going to talk about.
A page, yeah. And season 2 isn't even on there. I just knew I had to talk about that. So yeah, no, but it's a big accomplishment to get season 2 done, because that means halfway done. I mean, really, literally right now, over halfway done getting seasons 2 and 3 out. Literally in the middle of animating season 3, I'm like on to episode 6, so more than halfway done with animating season 3, which is great because it's a lot of animation. Probably will still be animating into the end of the year, and then get season 3 released in 2021 is the plan. Not sure when, not sure if it's going to be beginning, middle, or end of 2021, but it should be 2021. So that'll be good. And once that's done, then I take a year off and I can sleep, and it'll be a wonderful thing. But yeah, no, I mean, this series is fun. I mean, especially end of season 2, just to talk about it a little bit, because there were some revelations at the end of season 2, especially about the Airborne Elite. Do you remember that, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And since it's been out now, I don't think we'll give anything really away when talking. But for people who are watching, if you haven't seen it, this is a huge spoiler. So skip ahead like 5 minutes or something, or just skip the whole video, I guess. I don't know. Do what you want.
Put a link to it in the show notes for the series if you want to watch it.
Yeah, just go watch it. Anyway, the Airborne Elite reveal something about themselves that when they end up getting transferred along with Drake Alexander, and there is a little animated video when Heroscape was first introduced to the public, where it shows Drake Alexander it was in Normandy, France, 1945, right?
I don't remember exactly. It would have been 44 or 45.
Yeah, I think it was 1940. Let's just say for the sake of argument it was 1945, and they have that labeled. And so many people argue with that fact, saying that, well, Normandy invasion would have been earlier because 1945 the war was practically over. So what I say is that no, Drake Alexander and the Airborne Elite were in Normandy in 1945, Normandy, France, but they were fighting. They were doing a simulated battle. They were doing a performance for the troops, kind of like a Captain America, performing for war bonds type thing. And so, no comment on Drake Alexander. But as far as the Airborne Elite is concerned, they're actually some of the worst soldiers to come out of the army at that time. And they were so bad that they weren't allowed on the front lines. They became actors for the army to perform for people for war bonds. And they were in Normandy, and they were given live ammunition by mistake. And that's why the grenade that gets thrown at Drake Alexander could have killed him, because it wasn't fake, it was real, and so that's why they were all transported. Anyway, that's a more lengthy explanation than what is in episode 10 of season 2. But needless to say, they really aren't who they say they are, who you think they are. It just gives them a little bit more of humanity and gives a little bit more depth and explanation to their characters. And even in spite of the fact that they're not the best soldiers around, they're still there. And they're going to do what they're going to do. And use what they have. And I like how Johnny Shotgun Sullivan says, it's like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's like guns are a great superpower, and you got those. Guns and grenades. What else do you need? So yeah, that's a big revelation. And what did you think about that, Jason?
But about that bit of revelation from...
Yep, about the airborne elite.
That makes sense. They're all a bunch of screwballs, so it kind of falls in line with who they are, and
I think it's a nice little twist. I don't know if people from the Heroscape community might pick up on that at all, or might have objection to that, or be okay with that. Most people I've talked to so far have been okay with it. They think it's a nice little twist. But I just thought, let's be creative with the story here, the confusion of the story that people talk about sometimes when it comes to the Airborne Elite and Drake Alexander. So that's what I rented in. It's just kind of trying to tie into what the game was and the ethos of the game. So
try out the gift while you're... Hey, that worked pretty well.
They do, isn't it? You don't think they would hold, but they do. What I'm going to talk about next is painting for a second. So I asked Jason a few months ago that's like, okay,
like 4 sets there.
I know this is a story. There's a story behind this. That's why.
This.
Okay, so I asked Jason, okay, I'm thinking about painting because, and this is in line with 3D printing. I got an Ender 3.
Was that this year too?
The end of last year.
In the last year, okay.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it last year because I hadn't got it then. But I got an Ender 3D printer to print hex terrain tiles from High Ground Tiles. Yes, I will be mentioning them a lot. And I've been 3D printing like crazy all this year. That 3D printer has been going practically non-stop for the whole year. And a lot of the terrain sets you'll see in Season 3 of Tales of Valhalla. It's great stuff. High Ground makes awesome stuff. And the only reason why I don't have all the terrain in front of me, because if I stack them up in front of me, you would not see us anymore. Right?
He's reasonably accurate. There's a stack of boxes right off camera over here, on top of what's there, and I think you got about 4 or 5 more of those yellow totes in my
like 3
more in the living room behind us. So yeah, it's a fairly accurate description, I feel.
Yeah. So we will be, I'm going to be building terrain sets. And I don't know if we're going to be showing them in this show or a side show, but we will be showing like the mixture of Heroscape and High Ground terrains and how they blend really well as a tabletop playing field, and play a few Heroscape games with them. Anyway, so when it comes to that, now most of High Ground terrains, you can just print them out and there's no painting required. But for some of the ones there is. So I figured, I'm like, okay, I need to get some paints. So I know Jason is big into painting. He paints all the time. He does videos about painting. He's the one to go to when asking about that. So Jason recommended that get something fairly cheap, make sure it's acrylic paint. And so I went on Amazon and typed in acrylic paint set, starter set. And this is what I first got. And so actually you can see the back here. So yeah. So it has like
it's a basic starter set. Yeah,
it's a basic, and it's got canvas panels, which I probably will not use. Those might be for my wife because she's expressed interest in that. But it's got a set of paints, a bunch of brushes which I've used, and it it had a bonus, or it should have had a bonus with like a paint scraper thing, as well as a sponge. And it did come with a sponge, but it didn't come with a paint scraper. So I wrote to the people who sent this to me, and like, well, I was missing something. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll send out actually another paint set for you. and so there's a paint scraper right there with another starter set. But this is just the beginning. And so the company that owns this paint set somehow found me on Facebook Messenger because I think I left a review somehow, and they were able to get my Facebook Messenger. And they said, well, leave this review here and we'll send you something free. And I don't remember how I got this.
Well, so you left a review somewhere?
Yeah, I left a review somewhere, and yeah, we'll give you like a free gift. So this came in the mail. And so and keep in mind, I've spent less than $20. So 2 starter sets.
So are these all brushes?
These are all very nice brushes and another scraper.
Oh, okay.
Just leaving a simple review saying, yeah, this stuff is great, and they're like, thank you. Mm-hmm. I was just expecting like a paint, like a small paint bottle or something, nothing this, and in a tin. It's in a tin. It's insane. And while I'm talking, I'm trying to remember where this extra set of paints came from. Honestly, I don't remember.
Just end up with random paints, and I guess that works.
I think you have to think. No. I think this came with this. No, because there are paints in here. Yeah, I have no idea how this came to be. I think this had to come with this too.
Is it some combination where you got the 2 sets together?
No. I think I got this one, and then actually, I have to be honest, I have no idea. Anyway, I got this too. Yeah. But anyway, I got like I literally spent like less than $30, and I got all this stuff. And now I have paint that I'll probably have the rest of my life. It'll probably take a while to go through all these things, which is great. So yeah, thank you, Jason, for the advice of getting just starter sets and I've been painting a little bit. I've been painting a lot of the mine shaft high ground tiles because like for filament it would be just a gray rock type formation, but in the rock sometimes there's like wood pieces that prints along with it, so you have to paint those brown in order for it to look like wood instead of rock. And so yeah, and you'll see photos of those. I'll give Jason photos, or I won't, and then you won't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
we'll see. Anyway, okay. So, do you want to put in something to give my breath a break?
Sure, why not? I'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to this year.
Okay.
'Cause I'm sure you've got some rants and angry stuff coming up, don't you? That's what you were telling me. Look at your phone over there. I think you. Oh dear goodness. Okay.
I have some good things to talk about.
Some good things to talk about. No, but so going back to start, I was kind of joking about being locked in my house for 6 months. I really wasn't. We were only actually formally locked down here in Michigan for about 2.5 months, something like that. The gyms are actually just opening back up. I think today we're recording this, today or tomorrow, which I'm kind of looking forward to. But I've actually, because of the fact they've been closed, I've been out running a whole bunch, and I've basically just crushed personal record after personal record for running. I've knocked a bunch of time off my 10K and last. So, so I basically, it's been a very good year for running, despite the fact there's pretty much been no races. There was one race that was a socially distanced trail run that they could do where you spread people out before the lockdown. There may be one like that coming up at the end of the year that I'm hoping to get to run. But yeah, it's been, other than that, like I said, it's been a good year for running. So in terms of other things, of course, Legends of Kalidasia, still working that a little bit, produce a few things every now and then. I've spent some time working on 3D models recently. These guys are going to show up at some point for sale. These are the two of the new...
Are these 3D prints too?
They are 3D prints, yes. So these are actually, when they're going to be sold, they're going to be sold as 3D prints. So these are two of the new Kolithgard ships. The rules for these guys are actually sitting in my bedroom. I just haven't put them up for sale yet because I'm working on a few other things for the game first. But we're going to see some new miniatures for that game coming out. One already came out. I do have them sitting over here. So this is the first resin 3D print that I'm selling for Legends of Kalidasia, the Surikari Virgo. And it actually works pretty well for actually selling miniatures. The resin prints can be manufactured cheap enough, and there's not a lot of people doing it to tank the market like with FDM 3D printing. So you can actually make it, mathematically works out to get a halfway decent amount of money off resin 3D prints. So those are the big things for Legends of Kalidasia. There is one more thing related to the game that I have not announced yet that I am working on that hopefully should be out by the time you've seen this. Link in the show notes. What else have I done this year? I got a bunch of crap sitting over here. Random 3D printed stuff. Other miniatures I've been working on. But yeah, there really hasn't been a lot of exciting stuff going on this year for me because, COVID. Just lots of running. Lots of running. I basically doubled my mileage that I normally run each week. So anyway, do you have some angry rants, Ryan?
Okay, well, let's do angry rants.
Or do you want to do positive ones first?
We'll do angry rants.
So I got a few cooler things to talk about. We'll let you talk for a while.
Okay, so let's get into. I have a beef with YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix.
Oh dear goodness!
And here's why. Now, this is from my perspective of being a dad, because I have a 2-year-old son.
Can I ask a quick interrupt first?
Yes.
Because you've ranted about this stuff before, sort of, right? This topic before, just not from the perspective of being a dad.
Yeah, but I think it was different things.
Okay, all right, continue on.
So I got a 2-year-old son, and he's learning to watch TV. Well, he's mastered watching TV.
Probably not hard to do, is it?
Not really. I'm not gonna say what he's interested in watching, but normally he's watching something from YouTube, Amazon, sometimes Netflix. But if you've noticed, and sometimes you like to keep something running all day because he gets distracted, he can run away, come back. And when it comes to YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix, that drive me insane is the fact that I always need to keep my hand on a controller at all times. Why? Because, well, for YouTube, a gosh darn commercial has to come up in a video a video that's meant for children, that does just children's song and dance things for like an hour and a half. It's just an endless video, song and dance for an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden there's this commercial that pops up or an advertisement that is not for kids, that shouldn't be on a kid's video, and you have to hit skip ad or that darn thing will run for minutes.
There's some long ads on YouTube. So I've seen one that has
Yes.
like a half an hour runtime.
Yes.
And now, do you get the political ads right now?
Yes.
Some of those are kind of dark.
This is darn insane. Just let my kid watch the darn video. Take your advertisement somewhere else. It's not like adults are watching, well, parents are, but it's not like adults are watching these kids shows. It's kids that are watching these kids shows. Just eradicate the advertising, please.
Weren't these kids' videos the whole thing of that Kidpocalypse ad thing last year that was freaking out about on YouTube and cutting advertisements from Lego bills and stuff? And apparently nothing really changed, did it? At least not in that regard. Because
They don't know what they're doing. Anyway, okay, moving on to Amazon and Netflix. Now I have a beef to pick with Amazon and Netflix too, because it's not the fact that they have advertising, it's the fact that when you press play and you expect for things to continue playing, if let's say you have like if you want to binge watch a show and that has episodes that are like 5 to 30-minute episodes, and you just wanted to keep playing, you should just press play once and it should continue until you hit stop. No. Do you know what Netflix and Amazon does? They say, "Are you still there? You have to press this button to continue if you're not there." It's like, I don't care if I'm not there. My kid is here. He doesn't know how to press the freaking button.
I'm listening to headphones right now.
And
this is my torture
I am
for not
doing
recording the
other
audio
things.
last
This is
year.
why I have my hand in the control all the time. So I press the button so my kid doesn't get upset. So the darn thing continues playing, which I should only press the button once. But it's like, are you still? I don't care. I don't care if nobody's there in the room. Okay. I want this thing to keep on running until the end of time. I don't want you interrupting me saying, "Are you still there?" Take that off, Netflix and Amazon. Just take that darn thing off. It is stupid. It is so stupid. Just take it off. Okay.
How often does Netflix do it? It used to be every 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. I don't know about Netflix, but Amazon's just insane.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's just insane. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
Phew. Okay, now I had something else. Okay, yes. And this is coming in the light of the election season. This has just happened in the last few weeks.
Uh-oh.
When I go on social media,
Oh, no.
I am already registered to vote.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
registered to vote a long darn time ago. I do not need to go on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on any darn social media platform reminding me, "Are you registered to vote? Will you go away? You don't have to remind me. I am not a kid. I have already registered, and even if someone has not registered, they know how to do it. You do not need to remind us. You do not need to ask us. We're all adults here. Adults are who should be voting, and people who don't understand shouldn't be voting anyway. So if someone hasn't done it, they don't need to be reminded. If someone has done it, they don't need to be reminded. Just go away." Okay.
Well, you could have at least didn't go down the angry political diatribe of people getting in fights on Facebook all the time. That's all I ever see anymore.
I avoid that. So, you know what? Okay. This is the only thing I'm going to say about this when it comes to politics, because this is actually I stopped watching a content creator on YouTube, actually a couple on YouTube in the past few months, because of the fact that their content isn't about any kind of politics. I don't care if it's conservative, liberal, whatever side it is. Their content is not about politics. It's not about talking about politics. It's something else. It's things that are doing that are not politics, and I watch their content for that reason. And when they start inserting politics into their content, it doesn't matter how they feel. You know, you can do whatever you want on your private time. I don't care. But when you're primarily building an audience for a specific content that has nothing to do with politics, don't insert politics into it. Otherwise, you have me gone. I'm gone. And this comes to my point. That I make my own content. I like promoting my content. Now I see a lot of political rants, and sometimes I interject and I talk, and most of the time it's in jest. I like making jokes more often than not, and the funniest part, it goes over people's heads all the time, and that makes it even more funnier. But my sole purpose is just to create my content and get it out there and hope people enjoy it. And whatever I think about politics, I keep at the dinner table of my house for the majority of the time. And if you want to talk about it, come to my house and we'll talk about it over a meal. But besides that, I don't feel I should really especially through social media, interject politics in most any sort of way to anyone. I mean, there are things outside of politics that I stand with firmly, as far as like when it comes to my health and helping people get healthy that have the same condition I do, and Tales of Valhalla. And those are the two main things. And I feel like if I started really going on a diatribe of like, oh, you should, vote this person, or these people are evil, or whatever, I have my own internal thoughts, and I just want to keep them there. And if a person wants to ask me, then I'll say, I'll let you know what I think. But as far as social media is concerned, you start going into like a black hole when you start talking and interjecting and saying, you're like, oh, I believe in this candidate, I have this position or whatever, and it's like, but if there are a lot of great political commentators or comedians out there, and I even watch and listen to some, and they do what they do, and that's their content, and that's great, and they don't claim to be anything else, so that's perfect, and that's fine, but I mean, if you're just creating your own widgets and that's your content, don't start throwing politics into it, because that's not what you do. That's not what your audience is for. Just stop. Just have fun doing what you're doing.
So we're scratching the angry political rant section of the show then this year?
Yeah, no, and that's not really angry. It's just
Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
Kyle and I were actually joking about doing our own angry political commentary show, because those are popular now apparently.
Yeah, it's popular, but, I mean, leave it to the guys who know what they're kind of doing.
I don't think they know what they're doing. They just ramble.
Well, half the time they don't know what they're doing, but that makes it funny. But, I mean...
There's a couple I watch. They just make stuff up in the spot and say the same things over and over again, and it gets like 1 million views. Like, this is bull crap.
Yeah, I know. But it's like, I'd rather not to have the anger of people. And yeah, I just do what I do. Anyway, okay, that was not on my list.
Sorry, I got you off on that random topic. So yes.
But anyway, aside from that though, look up Internet Historian on YouTube. I showed Jason a video of that, and he has a fun little. He's kind of a comedian. He talks sometimes. It's kind of politics, kind of like just what's going on in the world, and puts a funny comedic spin on it. Check him out if you haven't. He's really cool.
Weren't you planning to say that instead of ranting about COVID?
Yes. Well, I haven't really ranted about COVID.
What did you do at the start of the video?
But that shouldn't be recorded, right? Or we shouldn't be seeing
Oh, you want to cut that part out?
Well, I don't know. I thought that was before we did the intro, or was that after?
That was during the show. It's like a little beep. This has been removed at the request of Ryan.
Okay.
Learn more later.
Never mind. Anyway, this show is like 2020. It's going to be gone darn awful.
Whatever. This show is just, we do it once a year. Just
Anyway, okay, positivity. I just want to say one before passing it back on to Jason, before coming back to me. Some positive things, and actually a really, really, really cool thing, and frankly historic thing that happened earlier this year. All I have to say, and I don't know if Jason knows about this or not, but SpaceX, Bob, and Doug. And those who have seen that know what I'm talking about, and those who haven't, look it up on YouTube. Because this is the beginning of commercialized space and spaceflight. And what Elon Musk and others are doing, I think, is a really, really exciting thing. Being back to the moon, and not just having like scientists or astronauts being able to just go back out there, but commercialized in the sense to where eventually people like you or me could take a vacation to Mars like 20, 40 years from now.
Maybe.
That's
pushing it. But
it's pushing it, but the fact is that it's possible.
Yes, eventually it will be possible.
And they're making it possible. And I mean, just look up some videos on Elon Musk. I mean, some of his visions for not just not just Mars, but beyond Mars, and to actually explore and colonize not just the moon and Mars, but the solar system. It's exciting stuff. And I know there's a lot of challenges, but you know what? Any challenges these guys have faced so far, they've met and have excelled with. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say about it before getting, and I don't want to get into too much detail. Just look up, Bob, Doug, SpaceX. Look up YouTube videos. They are everywhere, and just see the launch. The spaceship is amazing that they launched from. Yeah, just look that up, because if that's the future, like, of what commercialized space like gonna be, I'm excited for my son, because I'm thinking, like, if he says, "Dad, I want to be an astronaut," when he's older, I'd be like, or an engineer astronaut or whatever. I'm like, go for it, kid, go for it. And here, yeah, okay, so passing it back to Jason.
All right, so I got a few fun things that came out this year, and a couple stand-ins for something that should be shipping in about a few weeks here. So first new thing that I got, they're actually, 2 of them are Kickstarter related. I don't normally get Kickstarters, but I don't know when this is going to hit retail, but this is the Iron Star Alliance box set for Warcaster Neo Mechanica. This is War Machine in space. Sort of. It's actually a very different game. I've played it a few times since I did my little introduction to it. And it is an awesome, fun game. It is, so it's got little elements of War Machine as well as Monster Apocalypse to it. But the thing that makes it so interesting, the one part of Monster Apocalypse it brings to it is you can warp your guys in on the battle as the battlefield's going on. So whereas most games, you start with your entire army on the table and whittle each other down for the however long the game lasts. This is when guys die, you can respawn them right back in the battle in a different part of the battlefield. So it creates a much more dynamic game, and it kind of solves the stupid problem that every game has. It's all about just killing the enemy army as fast as possible, because it's next to impossible to wipe your opponent out in this game. And what happened, like in the last game I was playing, I was losing the left side of the battlefield, so I redeployed these void gate things, pretty much my entire army onto the right side of the battlefield after I got wiped out over there, and just crushed this side of the battlefield, captured the objectives, and won the game because of it. It's just so cool what the game can do. And I'm looking forward to when it actually hits the retail so I can buy some more things. Because right now all I got is a starter set. My friends got a starter set, and we're kind of limited, but it's a fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to having a lot of fun playing it more often. The other Kickstarter that actually got funded last year, that because of probably COVID mostly, got delayed quite a bit. I got some guys from the previous set. This would be for Battletech Clan Invasion. Of course, these guys are from a game of Armored Combat. But the Clan Invasion set, which is the next release for Battletech, should be shipping quite soon. I'm thinking a few weeks at this point. That's where they're sending emails out for us. So I'll be looking forward to getting another set of these battle mechs. These miniatures are amazing, and I don't know which ones I got in the next set, but I'm certain I got the Marauder, which is like my most favorite battle mech, one of my most favorite battle mechs of all time, alongside the Catapult and the Awesome. So I'll be looking forward to painting those guys up and showing that off not too far when that comes out. And last fun thing, I'm a sucker for Battletech. If you guys haven't figured that out over the years, it's like my most favorite game of all time. I gotta actually probably do some speed videos to see how long it takes me to assemble these things. They released a set of 5 puzzles. This is insane why I bought these things. These were not cheap. These are stupid. I don't really buy stupid collector's things, but they released 5 Battletech puzzles, and I bought all 5 of them, and they're all still in boxes. But it'll be fun, actually. I want to do, like I said, a speed timing to see how long it takes me to actually assemble a 500-piece puzzle. But they're basically 5 different artworks from the history of the game, and they're beautiful puzzles, and I can't wait to assemble those. They may still be available. They were a limited, like, 1,000 print run, so you could check in the Catalyst Games store if they're still available.
Yeah,
but they were a limited edition thing. So yeah, that is, I think, the 3 really... Oh, and the 4th cool thing that I got, because I think I might have talked about it last year, but I know I didn't have it in my hands. I got the Prusa SL1, their resin printer, which is what I've been using to print the Legend of Kalidasia things up here. It took me a little bit to get it running. There were some issues with how it was assembled from the factory, but once I got that sorted out, video in the show notes, it works great. I'm having a blast with it. Must admit, I don't print a lot of miniatures like some people do, but, you know, it's a fantastic printer, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm done talking about the handful of really cool things that I was excited about this year. Kind of a small list. Oh, there's one more thing that I know I'm probably going to blow money on, because why not? And it's not out yet, because I have a thing for buying stupid Nerf blasters. The Halo Assault Rifle is getting a Nerf blaster coming out October 1st. I'm sure I'll be picking that thing up. So maybe I'll do a more formal, cool things from this past year that I got video. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. So let me throw it back to Ryan to talk about a few more things you got.
Just a quick question that popped into my head. Why are they releasing a Halo Nerf Assault Rifle when there's no game being... is there a game being released? I mean, sometime, but not this year, right?
Halo Infinite was supposed to be a launch title for the new Xbox.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not. So the Nerf did their thing.
Okay.
And their whole production timeline and schedule set
the game people didn't do their thing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So it was probably supposed to be coinciding with, you know, because the Xbox launched in November or something like that, the new one, and it was all supposed to be well coordinated, and it wasn't. Maybe they'll release the other blasters too. It'd be kind of cool to see the other Halo weapons coming in as Nerf blasters. I have the Boomco assault rifle, but it's kind of yeah. This is gonna be this was only a semi-auto Nerf flywheel blaster, so it's not full auto, but I can fix that. That'd be fun to do a series.
Excuse me, sorry.
Still came through the audio.
Sorry.
Anyway, okay, Ryan, you got a few cool things to talk about.
I burp during my live streams too, and I apologize profusely every time because it's gross. I know it's gross, and it's just ugly. Anyway, so as far as Kickstarters go, I actually backed the Kickstarter last year as well.
Did it show up? Did it show up?
It showed up. And this is a guy that actually, and I'll actually promote his little thing. He has an app, and I think it's through both Android and Apple, and it is called. Here, hold on. 2 shakes of the man. It's it's called Heroscape. It's basically a Heroscape app that gives you all the card details. No, actually, you can see it on the screen. So you can basically get your armies, and I believe I think you just type Heroscape and you should be able to find it on the Play Store or whatever. And see, you got like advanced search, random army, random card, Heroscape content. Which, if I tap Heroscape content, and I go to content,
is a shameless plug.
A little bit. Well, plugs towards other guys too, but he presents YouTube channels that are Heroscape related. One is Sir Heroscape, one is Valhalla Gaming, and one is Tales of Valhalla. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, it's a cool thing to have, and anyway, so this fellow that created this, he also created his own little game called Birdscapes, which is not Heroscape related, but it's called Birdscapes. And me and Jason will end up playing this in a video. I don't know how we're going to showcase it, but we'll end up playing it and probably videotape it and show it to you in an episode or something down the road. But it's basically a game in which you have certain numbers of birds within these cards, and you put them in different environments, and it's all a lot of real life. So these birds will probably be primarily from California in this starter set, and I haven't played it yet. When my first go will be with Jason, so we'll both figure it out together. But it's basically just collecting like certain birds, and they're real life birds, and you place them in habitats. And there's like territory points, and you can migrate the birds into new habitats, and basically rack up points to win the game. So a nice simple little card game. So we'll play that and kind of give our thoughts on it in a future video. So that's kind of a cool thing. And then let's see here, just to finish off, because I just want to talk about these things. Although you'll probably see these in other Tabletop Battlefield content sometime down the pipe, and not in this Christmas video. But like I said before, I have 3D printed a ton of stuff, a ton of terrain, and so with some Heroscape stuff and Heroscape terrain, along with high ground terrain, promote high ground terrain like crazy. Just go to their website. Some stuff you can actually purchase on their website. Most of it you got to 3D print, but it is great stuff. Just look into it, see what you can do with it. It's awesome terrain, and not only it's like for Hextile Heroscape type terrain, but they also have square tile for D&D as well. So you have two kinds of options when it comes to 3D printing these things. So we'll be seeing some of those terrains in future videos as well. And let's see, I do this so I don't say a lot. Oh yeah, and then sometime down the line, me and Jason are going to go through Tabletop Battlefield comments from YouTube comments, because I look at them every once in a while, and I relay it into Jason. Like, we really need just to go through some of these things and talk about them. So you'll probably see a video on that sometime in the future as well. So
I assume YouTube filtered out the worst ones in the early days of YouTube.
I think a lot of them have been deleted.
No
or
rules
just
about what
removed.
you could post and things.
Yeah, but there's still some special ones out there. So we're we'll take a blast in the past, a literal blast, and see what people have commented on videos of the past of us 10 years, 15 years.
People are very polite these days, at least in my videos. I don't get very many angry ones.
We're very old.
Yes, I mean
we're very darn old. It's like
first video I posted to YouTube was 2007. Was that
makes sense?
That sounds right.
It makes sense.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was that long ago, Jason. It was that long ago.
I think
we're approaching 40, dude. We're approaching 40.
Season 3 was 2009, because because it's 10 years of Kalidasia, and there's 4. Oh goodness, oh my goodness. Now I'm just feeling old again. It was 2007 was the first videos I put on YouTube. We did some of the Tabletop Battlefield episodes chopped up into like 10 things, and there were some fun comments on that. Yeah, okay. Oh goodness. Anyway,
now, the question is, we should have in our heads, like, how often, like, how much longer in the future should we keep on doing these Christmas episodes after 40 years old?
I don't give a crap.
After 50?
I don't know. We'll see.
After 60?
Who knows?
After 70? After 80?
At some point, I have to just give them up, but I don't know.
We'll live stream from our retirement homes.
At some point, I'll just retire, travel around Michigan doing historical research, and that'll be that.
Oh, my. But, yeah, it's like we're not getting any younger and time gets faster, you know. I think my thoughts are just to make as many kids as possible and, you know, pass on to the next generation. And there you go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Anyway, anything else you want to talk
Merry
about?
Christmas!
Merry Christmas. All right, I guess that's it.
Anyway, you know, it's like we keep talking about things, and it just like I feel like it's depressing. I mean, it shouldn't be depressing. I mean, there's been a lot of good things are happening, a lot of great things are happening, but at the same time, depressing.
I guess we used to do these episodes once every 2 weeks years ago. Now we do it once a year, and everything gets crammed in at one time, and you realize how fast 1 year goes, and it's just like, oh, that's how time's passing now. I guess. Yeah. So anyway, it is.
And we're getting back to depressing now.
Yeah, let's get back to depressing. So hopefully 2020 ends at a halfway decent good fashion for everybody. There's a bit of a hopefully there. There's no guarantee. 2021 should be better. That's you would think, but I don't know.
2021 is going to be a lot of fun because season 3 is going to end up being released. We're going to have a lot of stop motion Heroscape content, and if you think season 2 was good, and I just don't mean like all of season 2, I'm talking about the season 2 intro. Okay, like the
big battle scene,
the 2 big battle scenes. If you thought those were good, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet, because and I'm not talking about like the quantity of miniatures, because I don't think I could for the longest time shoot over 100 miniatures in a scene for a long time, but there are going to be some really cool things happening in season 3. So just wait till next year. That's all I got to say about that. It's going to be fun.
All right, so I guess with that, once again, I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield. Oh, but whatever.
And I'm Ryan, creator of Tales of Valhalla.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2021 on the Tabletop Battlefield.
And I should be staring at the camera by staring at the TV.
I know. I probably did that too, but you know.
The TV's throwing me off.
That's not recording. That's the monitor.